Welcome to Mega Talk, the new talk show in boxing. Guys, we're here today to talk about Savannah Marshall versus Claressa Sheilds on Saturday, the 10th of September, 2022. This is a long awaited fight. You've seen that Claressa and Savannah have been arguing over a period of time. The first had a fight many years ago. This is showing you the amateur fight, what they had. And Savannah beat Claressa. Since then, Claressa's gone on to get nearly all of the belts apart from the WBO belts. She's got 5 belts at the moment. And she has shown her boxing skills, fighting various people in many occasions. She's upset and she's angry of as how Savannah's talked to her, and she's saying that she is ready to fight Savannah Marshall. We have Savannah in massive training at the moment. She's ready also. She's been hitting about saying that she's been training harder than what she ever has, and now that all the hard work has been finished, she's chilling out and she's relaxing and she's ready for the fight. Claressa too is training hard. She's using the bags. She's doing a lot of training fighting against a lot of men. Peter Fury though has says that Savannah is not only punching hard, he reckons that she hits the hardest out of all the female boxers. Claressa's still not too sure about this. She thinks that there's a lot of hype around Savannah and she wants to get revenge. This was one of the scorecards in the Chinese event where they fought and Claressa lost. Claressa says, oh, this time she's ready. She's been training really hard. Here we see them both arguing. Just after the fight, what one of them had, I can't remember which fight this one was. I think it was just after Claressa's fight. Right, a bit of background on both of these guys. Both of them are 12 and unbeaten in the 12 fights. Savannah has got 12 fights, 10 knockouts. 12 fights and 10 knockouts. Claressa has 12 fights, but only 2 of those are coming by way of knockouts. We think that this makes it really interesting because Savannah is a knockout merchant and Claressa is more of a boxer. And when the two collide together, it makes for a very interesting evening. Claressa claims that she's the greatest woman of all time. She calls herself the GOAT. Savannah, however, is cool, calm and collected. She says that after she beats Claressa, Claressa will no longer be using that punchline to say that she's the greatest woman of all time. I was saying earlier on that the fight, what they had in 2012, where there was both amateurs and Savannah beat Claressa. Claressa was talking about that this video was on the internet and then it was taken down. So people don't really know what happened in the fight. People haven't really seen the fight. The video, what I saw with both of them, they showed a small clip of when they was both fighting, but we haven't seen the clipping of that to really know what happened in that fight. But Claressa says that she was robbed. How true that is, I don't know. Savannah goes to the Mayweather gym to try and just get that experience with one of the best fighters of all time in Floyd Mayweather. So what happens is boxer versus knockout specialist. Now, one of the things what you'll find is that Claressa has not knocked out as many people as what Savannah has. But not only that, Claressa's only knocked out 2 of her opponents. I don't know the height and the reach and the weight of most of her opponents. Well, I doubt very much if they're going to be as big as Savannah, with a reach of Savannah, who punches as hard as Savannah. And because of these reasons, I think that Savannah has got a great advantage. There's a saying that says, a good big fighter will always beat a good small fighter. Does this mean that Savannah already has got her number? Who knows? What I will say is that if Claressa can fight her way through the 10 rounds and keeps Savannah at bay, she's done really, really well. Because I don't think she'll be able to do that. She will take at least a couple or 3 or 4 good punches in her face. The question is, can Claressa Sheilds hold Savannah's punch? Because if Savannah is the hardest hitter out of all the females, is Claressa going to be able to take it? Claressa's answer back to this was, well, you might be the hardest puncher, but if you can't lay a fist on me, being the hardest puncher in the world doesn't make any difference. She makes a valid point there. But it's 10 rounds. Will she be able to evade Savannah's punch for 10 rounds? I don't know. I doubt it very much. But Claressa seems to think she'll be able to do so. And Claressa says, because the question was asked, well, if Savannah does land on you, Claressa, what then? And Claressa says, well, if she lands, she lands. Just like every other boxer, they've landed. So we will see. It's very, very interesting. I'm glad for this because I do think that is the biggest boxing for female boxers, at least in this country, arguably in the world ever. It's all a female event. And you've got great boxers which is going to be on there. The cast includes, and this is according to one of the websites, 2020 Olympic gold medalist Lauren Price, 2020 Olympic bronze medalist Caris Artingshaw, and Caroline Dubois. For those who don't know, Caroline Dubois that's Daniel Dubois, one of the heavyweights. It's his younger sister. You're going to have double headers on this. You're going to have 2 undisputeds. Claressa Sheilds will be fighting Savannah Marshall for the middleweight championships. And that's going to be for the WBC, the WBA, IBF and the WBO middleweight championship belts of the world. You'll also be getting a unified world title, and this is between Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgardner, and that is for the WBC, IBF, WBO Junior Lightweight Championships of the world. And I'll tell you something now, that's going to be equally good a fight. So you got lots to look forward to. As I said earlier on, this is going to be at the O2 Arena. I'm glad for the footage because I've seen that they've done some really, really good productions regarding this, and I'm glad for it. It's not been wishy-washy. I've watched one of the programs on it for about 20 minutes, the other one for about 23 minutes, and they did the face-to-face where they sit down in the studio and discuss it. It was really, really good. So I think you're going to get a lot of people watching this, not just in England, but throughout the world. So my thing is, who do you think's going to win this? Who do you think's going to win the other fights? But this one in particular, because it's a big grudge match, and this grudge match has been since 2012, 10 years in its making. Who do you think? Have you subscribed to this channel yet? If not, why not? Can you also press a like button? Thank you for listening. You've been listening to Mega Talk.